Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, the award-winning gardening podcast as voted for by the Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and by my listeners. I hope that you have all clicked that subscribe button. If you're new to the podcast channel, please do click the subscribe button and then you get notified of all the new podcasts that get launched. And if you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, make sure you look for Gardening with Ben and follow me on all my social medias. So sit back, relax, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's gardening podcast with Ben. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for a brand new episode. Thank you for everybody that listened yesterday. Wow, so many people listened to my podcast yesterday. It was unbelievable. Probably one of the best days I've had in a long time. Whether it's because I'd not done one for a while, everybody wanted to catch up and see how I was getting on. So thank you for those that have listened to it. And if you're new to this podcast channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and follow button. And then you'll get notified when I upload new podcasts. And then you can always stay ahead of the game and listen to them while on the allotment, or while you're out walking, or while you're having your morning brew, or even your evening brew. Or if you want to fall asleep, listen to me when you're going to bed. But yes, we are back here for another podcast. What have we been up to today? Well, yesterday I didn't manage to get much done down at the allotment because it was so hot. 40 degrees. Yes, those are sirens, they're not coming for me. But it was 40 degrees yesterday down at the allotment. So all we could do was water, which we shouldn't really do because it risks scalding the plants, risks burning the leaves and stuff like that. But it was either that or let them wilt and die. So I watered them all. And yeah, some of my plants have gone a little bit crispy. So all I've done is just snip off the leaves, and then they can concentrate the energy into growing new growth, and hopefully they will be alright. But apart from that, everything is looking absolutely fantastic down on the allotment. The heat certainly has helped with things growing really well. And obviously the first thing I did was go on the allotment today and check on my melons. Every time I'm going to go, I'm going to be checking on the melons, seeing if they're getting any bigger, encouraging them to grow, get bigger and bigger. And these are my watermelons. I've never actually grown watermelons before. I've managed to grow cantaloupe melons before, but I've never actually managed to grow watermelons before. So I'm so looking forward to this, and hopefully I'm going to have a good result. I've got two at least growing what I've seen, so fingers crossed. Even if I just get two, I'll be happy with that result, because wow, growing a watermelon, I looked in the supermarket the other day and it's like £3 for a watermelon. So I'll be happy if I get two watermelons, £6 worth for all that effort. But I can't wait to taste them and to share photos of the journey of the watermelon growing with you all and how well it's actually doing. So yeah, they're doing really well. I've given them a good drinking of water today because they had dried out. I'm growing them in pots, and obviously, you know, with growing in pots, things dry out a lot faster than they would do, and especially when being in the polytunnel, because if you think it's like 25 degrees outside, it's possibly double that in a polytunnel as well. So things do dry out really, really fast. So you've got to keep up with the watering and keep things hydrated and nice and healthy as well. So we've been looking after that today. And also I've been checking on my pumpkin. That's another thing that I check every time when I go. And I think it was last week I shared a picture of the pumpkin, and it was only very small, but now it must be the size of a orange at least. So hopefully this pumpkin is going to grow really well. And obviously to get pumpkins, big ones, you only need to have a couple of pumpkins on the plant. Don't let more than 2 or 3 at least grow on the plant. So if you see any more flowers producing and stuff like that, just keep pulling them off, and then you're encouraging that pumpkin to grow nice and big, and that's how you get your big pumpkins. If you just let it grow with loads of pumpkins on it, you'll only get small little ones because it's spreading its strength and its energy out between all the other pumpkins growing on the plant. So it's up to you whether you want a big one for like showing off, or whether you just want small ones to cook with. So the choice is up to you, and possibly I'm going to be growing a big one because I want to show it off, and I just want to see how big I can get it to grow. I've only managed to get smallish ones before, and this one's coming along pretty early and pretty good. And if you think it will be on the plant until end of September, possibly middle of October, because that's when you obviously pick them for Halloween. So yeah, we have got a long time to go. So if it's growing this well at this time in year, hopefully we will get a decent sized pumpkin. And obviously you can encourage it to get bigger by feeding it twice a week, once at least, possibly twice a week. So if you're wanting big pumpkins, make sure you give them that food, because yes, they do take all the food from out of the soil, so you need to feed that back in to encourage the plant to produce a decent sized fruit. So yeah, I've been checking on them today, and we've been doing some harvesting, and this is obviously what the podcast's about today. We've been doing some harvesting, and I'm back at work for the next few days now, so I thought I'd pick some produce. Obviously I couldn't pick any yesterday because it was too hot, and I didn't want to bring it home and it just all wilt and die when I got it home. So I've been picking some produce today, and first on the list was to pick some potatoes, because I've only just found how to cook potatoes. Yes, I'm 36 years old and I didn't know how to cook them. I've not got pans what I can boil them in, so I have to do them in the microwave. So all I do is stick the fork in millions of times and make sure it's got plenty of holes in it, because you don't want them to explode in the microwave. Pop them in some water and shove them in the microwave for 10 minutes or so, and they're absolutely delicious. Absolutely. I did them the other week and they were fantastic and I loved them. So I picked a load more potatoes to keep me going for the next few days. And also I have been picking some climbing beans. Now this is the first year that I've grown climbing beans. I've not tried them particularly before. They're not runner beans, they're climbing beans, which are obviously a lot smaller. I don't know if I'm that keen on the taste of the green ones, but they're good and healthy, so you can't complain at that. So yep, can't complain. So we've picked some of those, and I've also picked some yellow ones as well. I've grown some yellow beans as well, and hopefully they will taste nice. We'll see. So I'll give my verdict on that to you all and let you know what they actually taste like and whether they're actually delicious or not. And we then picked some spinach. I've got some spinach ready, so I picked some of that. I had some the other week and it was absolutely delicious, and I gave some of it to my friend because he's into his eggs and spinach, so scrambled egg and spinach. So I gave some to my friend the other week, and so I picked some today for myself, and obviously it'll keep growing as well. Just keep snipping it off and it'll keep growing, and you'll get plenty more spinach growing on it. So I picked some of that, and I've also picked a lettuce. I've got a lettuce ready as well. Now they're all starting to become ready, so I'm having to try and keep up with eating them all, because you have to be careful because they soon do go to seed if you don't pick them fast enough. So always watch out for it starting to bulk out a bit, because sometimes it means it's going to start going to seed. So I picked some lettuce to keep me going as well. And the other day I picked 2 courgettes. So we're going to be cooking a meal. I've picked up my stuff for cooking my meal with. I've picked up some tomato sauce, some sliced mushrooms, some peppers because I've not got no peppers growing, and some chicken. And we're going to put it into like a stir fry type meal and cook it in my pan, and then I can have it in some wraps as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously I can put my lettuce in the wraps as well, but I'm going to be using the lettuce for my sandwiches for work tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to my work sandwiches, and I can tell everybody this is the lettuce that I grew, and I'm eating my own produce. So I'm looking forward to that. So we did all that, and between all that, we did some jobs down at the allotment because it's starting to. The weeds are obviously starting to grow as well. I try and keep on top of them. As stuff's starting to spread out on the plot, the weeds find it harder to get, so there's not as many weeds as there can be, but they are starting to appear again. So we've done a bit of weeding as well today. And I looked around on my plot and I've got a fantastic white gladioli coming out. It looks absolutely beautiful. Now, I must have planted about 200 gladioli corns on my allotment at the beginning of the year because my mum and dad have found a fantastic shop where they sell cheap bulbs and corns and everything like that. It's like a wholesale place and they sell them really cheap. So she just bought me a load of bags of them, and I just planted loads down my borders on my plot because why not? They might as well just go in the borders. They're not doing no harm, and yeah, they'll come back year after year. Obviously, if you live in a cold place, they do say to store them in a shed, but I just left them in the ground for the last couple of years, and they've come back year on year and flowered really well. And yeah, a white one's come out today, and I've just noticed a red one that is just creeping to open. So I may have to pop down this weekend, even though I'm working. I might have to go after work and have a look and see if it's popped open because I don't want to miss it. Definitely not. And also I've got a lily just about to open as well, which I'm excited about because I planted these lily bulbs as well this year. Quite a few of my lilies have been eaten by lily beetles, which isn't obviously very good. So hopefully we do manage to get a few lilies out. Now I can't stand lilies because they make me sneeze, but hopefully they'll be alright on the allotment. They won't make me sneeze on the allotment. So we'll have to see about that and see if they are actually alright. And I'll just have to watch myself on the pollen stamens because I don't want to stain my clothes obviously as I'm walking past and brush against them. So we've got to keep an eye out for them as well. I may even just snip the stamens out of them. That's what my nan used to do when she used to have some lilies. She used to cut the stamens out of them so that obviously the pollen and they don't stain everywhere. Obviously that's bad for the bees, but it's a toss-up between whether I want to get stained or not. So we'll see about that. And one of my other jobs that I do on a weekly basis at the allotment, I literally do this job every week. I check my cucumber plants over because cucumber plants grow really fast. If you're watering them on a regular basis, they seem to grow really fast, the vines on them. So I've been tidying them all up today, and I've got netting up behind it because cucumber plants send out these little shoots and they wrap around the netting and they support themselves, but not all of it supports itself. So some of it I have to fasten onto the netting. So we've been tidying them up today. I must have about 15 to 20 cucumber plants. Yes, you may think that's a lot of cucumber plants, but my family and friends absolutely love them. And again, when they start producing them cucumbers, I'll be having them in my sandwiches every day. So I'm definitely not against growing cucumbers, and they do taste absolutely delicious. I grow the Market More variety of cucumber, and I've had success year after year with them. I've never actually tried growing Telegraph cucumbers. My neighbour's grown some of them, and he's got some great ones from them. So I might try a few Telegraph ones one year and see if we manage to get a good crop from them. Just for a change, really. I'll probably still grow some Market More ones because I know that I can grow them, but I might actually try and grow some Telegraph ones next year. And Telegraph ones are the ones that you see in your local supermarket. They don't sell Market More ones because they're spiky, and people will think, what the hell are those? So you can't buy these in the supermarket, not that I've ever seen them. But they do taste absolutely delicious and they're easy to grow as well. So we've been tidying them up. Then I was talking earlier about some of my leaves getting burnt and crispy. That was on my watermelon plants and on my cantaloupe melon plants. So we've been round snipping those off today, because what's the point in leaving them on when they're burnt and crispy and dying the leaves? You might as well cut them off, let them concentrate on growing on the healthy stuff, and get them off the plant, because you don't want to spread disease to other leaves and stuff like that, and then it can concentrate on growing the melons rather than the actual leaves. Yes, they do need some leaves on them, but if the leaves are dying, I snip them off. The same goes for my cucumber plants. If the leaves have turned yellow and brown, I snip them off, because what's the point in the plant concentrating on them leaves when they are dead and they are ready for the scrap heap, those leaves. So we've been doing that, and yeah, obviously I've been watering today. Absolutely been giving it a massive drink of water, because I was looking round at some of my sunflowers today and the leaves are just drooping on them, because sunflowers obviously drink a lot of drink and you need to give them a lot of water. So I've been round giving everything a real good soaking today. I'm hoping, if the weather's right, it's meant to rain on Friday. Obviously I'm working tomorrow, so I won't be watering outside tomorrow. So hopefully, because I've wet the ground now, hopefully things will soak pretty easy if it does rain. Obviously it'll probably dry out fast because it is still warm. It's about 20 odd degrees here in Sheffield, and it doesn't seem to be getting that much warmer. Colder, should I say, not warmer. But yeah, it's all coming along really well. So what else have we been doing? So the other things that I'm always doing is I'm trying to think of new ways of bringing content to you all, as obviously times are changing, things evolve, people like to see different things and different videos and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to fetch in a better channel of more videos and more lives and more features and pictures for you all to see. And from what I've seen on my Facebook page at the moment, my posts are doing really, really well, and they're getting so many likes on Facebook. It's unbelievable. Some of my posts are like getting 800 likes and stuff like that. They are really, really booming. So thank you for those that do support me and watch my videos or like my pictures, and it all helps every time. Even if you don't want to comment on it, just give it a like, because then it shows up in more places on other people's Facebooks and the reach will get bigger and better. So please do keep liking every single post, and even just leave a little comment. That would really help me grow as a page, and I'm at 20,000 followers now on Facebook. So thank you for everybody that does follow me on Facebook. It really does mean the world to me, and it really is growing my page. From where I started at 0 to just starting a page as a diary for myself, just so that I knew when I planted things, where I planted things, how they've done, how they've come on, and stuff like that. It's really great how it's grown, and I'm hoping that one day we can grow it even more. So please do keep liking, commenting, sharing the posts. It all helps towards the algorithms, what they all set on these pages. So hopefully we will be back with another podcast pretty soon. But as always, like I say, please do click that share button, like button, follow button, and you will get notified when new podcasts come up. And if you've not checked out my other podcast channel yet, please do give that a check out. It's called Gardening and Allotment Tips Podcast. Now there's a link for it in the description of this podcast so that you can check it out. I'm just stopping. I thought I heard rain then. I was thinking, yes, this isn't the rain. But no, I don't think it is. So please do, and please do keep supporting me in everything that I do. And if you don't follow me on social media, check out Gardening with Ben on Facebook and on Instagram and TikTok as well. I'm on TikTok. I don't do no dancing yet, but yeah, I'm hoping to start doing more content for you over the coming weeks and months. So watch out for that. And as always, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. Thank you for listening to today's Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do click that subscribe button and feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. All you have to do if you're listening on Spotify is click the share button and you can share it straight to your Instagram story for all your followers to listen to and help build my listeners up as well and get more people listening to it. Feel free to check out all my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. Go check it out. Check out my dancing. Gardening with Ben. And check out the link as well in the description of this podcast where you can check out my gardening t-shirt shop where I sell funny t-shirts with all different funny logos and designs on. And feel free to support me by purchasing one, and all the money obviously goes back into my allotment where I can share more gardening tips with you all. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts.